Well, in the army we used to call our battalion headquarters Bullshit Castle, because that's where all the bullshit came from. But here, that building down the end there, that's our Australian Parliament House, and as a civvy now, that's what I refer to as Bullshit Castle. Today I've come to a place that I haven't been to since I was a little kid. It's something that's kind of, I guess it's kind of shaped my life and shaped the way that I think about things generally about life. Well, I'm in Canberra today. This is our nation's capital. If you're not Australian, that's where I am. But where I am is on smack bang in the middle of two things that are really important to me for very different reasons. So I'm on this place, I'm on this road, this place, this Remembrance Drive. This is ANZAC Parade, and up the top of ANZAC Parade, up the top there where we're going, is the Australian War Memorial. And I've got some friends of mine that I served with while I was in the army, and they went off to serve in other places around the world, and they're no longer with us. So I'm just going to go up there and basically say good day to some old mates. And down the other end of the road, other end of ANZAC Parade is, well, in the army we used to call our battalion headquarters Bullshit Castle, because that's where all the bullshit came from. But here, that building down the end there, that's our Australian Parliament House, and as a civvy now, that's what I refer to as Bullshit Castle. But on the way up here, I'm going to take some photos of some of these memorials, because this whole parade behind me here, all the way up here, either side of this is, well, there's memorials all the way along, and going to go and have a look, because I haven't been here for a very long time, and some of these things, well, they weren't even here when I was here last, so I'm just going to go check it out. This first one here, this is the Peacekeepers Memorial. We've got the military peacekeepers and then the civilian peacekeepers. The civvy ones are the coppers, and generally they're all police. I'm pretty sure they're all police, in fact. They are all police, and there's the military ones, the Army, Navy and Air Force. And over here we've got in the service of peace, and there's something here which I found interesting. On the floor here, it's got Australians securing peace, policing peace and building peace, and well, you can't really do one without the other. And this is the memorial. This is very similar to a high-rise building. I'm going to take a photo of this. It's an architectural sort of photo. I'll come back, I'll show you what I'm going to use. A wide-angle lens. I'm going to get down low and take a nice high-looking photo, make it look even bigger than what it is. Across the road there we've got the memorial for the Boer War. There's some soldiers on horseback there, and these things are bloody huge. Had a look over there, they're way taller than what I am. Really, really well done. This one here is the memorial for the Rats of Tobruk, and if you don't know the Rats of Tobruk, ask old mate Rommel during World War II. He certainly had a few sleepless nights because of us Aussies and around Libya and Palestine. The Rats of Tobruk, one hell of a story to read about. Really, really cool memorial. This one, I believe this one here is a replica of what's actually at Tobruk that the soldiers built there. Taking photos of these, well, with most modern cameras, the wide angle lens that you have, it's a matter of using that wide angle lens and turning that phone on the side of it, getting a little bit closer maybe, and we'll get all that. Really emphasise the size of this thing. You take a photo. This one here is the RAFI's Memorial, RAAF, the Royal Australian Air Force. Pretty neat memorial, that one. I quite like that, the way that's done. Royal Australian Air Force, RAAF. Very cool memorial, really well done. It's got some really old imagery behind there from World War I, World War II, and more modern aircraft out there behind. Let's carry on. This one here is the Nurses Memorial, and I've got to tell you, this is so much better than what I thought it was going to be. We've got some rosemary here, and the smell of rosemary is really all through this place, but this is all made in glass. I haven't seen this one before. Really, really impressive. It's kind of, I guess you could describe it as being delicate, whilst still being kind of sombre. It's got all the places that nurses have served all around the world in different conflicts. Really, really impressive. And here we've got the Royal Australian Navy Memorial. It wouldn't be right if it didn't have any water in it. We've got the battle honours over here from all the different conflicts that they've fought in. Looks like a couple of clearance divers coming out of there and some sailors. That's a really, really impressive memorial. Over here we've got the battle honours again by the look of that. Yep, more battle honours over here. And the memorial itself. It really is quite impressive. This whole place here, it's done really, really well. All up and down either side of the memorial of ANZAC Parade here, there's a eucalypt forest. If you look across the way there, you can see all the eucalypt trees. And that's on either side here. It's very, very, very Australian. Besides all the memorials, it's really well kept. It's definitely worth a visit if you haven't been here. But the irony that's in this is the street itself, this parade itself. It's well, it's weird. It's full of different emotions for me. Like, you guys don't normally see any other emotion from me, but besides, you know, wow, that's bloody amazing. But when I'm talking about a camera or talking about a photo, but this here is different for me. This is up one end of the street here, one end of this parade. You've got a place where we keep the names of all of our dead that have died in battle. But down the other end, down there behind me, you've got the place where these guys make the call to send all these guys up here off to die. It's just mind-blowing. In the age that we have right now, and what's going on in the world right now, it really kind of hits home. I'm going to go in here in a second. I'll show you around a little bit. I don't want to go too much. It's not really the place to film too much, but I will show you something in here to do with Lockie. Lockie's a bloke that I served with in my old battalion. He went off to join the Special Air Service Regiment when he was killed overseas. I'll show you where he is in here, or his memorial is in here. Something really interesting here. If for those of you that don't know, the Australians, we refer to ourselves as the ANZACs, the Australian New Zealand Army Corps, and that stems from World War I on the beaches of Gallipoli. And the Australian New Zealand military forces landed at Gallipoli, and the enemy, Gallipoli is in Turkey, and they believed that this was a major thrust towards the Dardanelles, and the enemy, the Turkish commander Kemal Ataturk, he was instrumental in defending Turkey from us. And what has just struck me as just totally bizarre, and it's kind of, I really can't describe the words. It's amazing to me that this memorial is here. It's awesome. It's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But there's a whole memorial here dedicated to the commander of the enemy, of the thing, the ANZAC spirit, like the enemy commander of the Turkish army who defended Turkey from us during World War I. There's a whole memorial here dedicated to him, and that really shows how we think about war in this country. Everyone loses. It's kind of cool that they've done a memorial to the commander of the enemy of the battle that cemented the ANZACs into the world. But the most impressive thing about this is not that they've done it, it's just how close it is. It is the closest memorial on ANZAC Parade to the War Memorial. At the moment, I've got to wait around a little bit because they're doing some construction in the War Memorial, and you've got to take a bloody ticket. You've got to wait a certain time. You've got a 2-hour interval that you can go in there and have a look around, and my time doesn't start for another half an hour, so I've got a little bit of time to kill. I'll get up there, I might get some footage around the memorial itself. There's some more memorials here, like the Vietnam Memorial. There's going to be the Army one down there, a Kokoda one most likely, but we'll see them after we go to the War Memorial. I'll show you around just a couple of little things in there. I won't talk too much in there. I don't like doing this sort of thing in a place like that, but for those of you who aren't here in Australia, I'd like to show you a little bit about what's inside there. There's also a tomb of the unknown soldier in there. I'll show you that as well. So stick around, we've got some pretty cool stuff to show you. So if you've come here looking for this video thinking that I'm going to teach you something here today about photography, you might be disappointed. I'm going to show you a little bit about me, I guess, and what shaped me and what's Shane, I guess. Anyway, let's go up and have a look at the war memorial. So that's War Memorial. It's not all open at the moment. A lot of it's closed. A lot of the stuff downstairs, the modern stuff from World War II onwards, like Korea, Vietnam, etc. It's all closed at the moment, so I couldn't show you. But I came in here yesterday not to film, not to do any of this. I just wanted to come in there for my own reasons and have a look around. And it's actually really, really impressive. So if you are here, it's worthwhile having a look there. They've done a really, really good job. It's certainly one of the best war memorials I've ever seen. So where I am now, what I would be interested to see what your thoughts are about the footage that I got from inside there. I didn't want to go talking in there, it's not the appropriate place to do that. But I am curious as to how good that footage is from this Samsung. I just left it there, I didn't do anything special with it. There's some pretty dark and high contrasty sort of video that's in there, so I'm pretty keen to see how that looked. Anyway, I'm going to go back down the other side of this ANZAC Parade here. I'll show you what we've got going on here. The first place here, this is the Australian Army memorial, and these two diggers here, these are Vietnam era guys. I can tell from the bang sticks that they've got there, SLRs, that's a Vietnam sort of vintage, if you like. And got the slouch hats, got the Vietnam era webbing on. These things are pretty tall, these two blokes. I reckon they're probably 3 or 4 meters tall. Absolutely huge. Anyway, let's keep on going down the path here and we'll see what's next. This memorial here is for the Korean War. Australia served in the Korean War 1950-1953. I didn't see anything in the war memorial for this because that part of the memorial was closed. But we had Air Force, Navy and Army, I believe, in the Korean War. You may have noticed lots of flowers because Anzac Day actually wasn't that far away, but this is the Korean memorial. And the Korean memorial, we actually have a battle honour in the Royal Australian Regiment of Kapyong. And Kapyong was part of the Korean campaign, and I would say that because some of these here are actually from the RAR Association, that I would say that these are from Kapyong Day, not necessarily from Anzac Day. This one here, this one is the Vietnam Memorial. This is probably one of the best Vietnam memorials I've ever seen. out across the ANZAC Parade there, you can see over there, that's the RAAF memorial that we looked at before. That's the walk up ANZAC Parade back down again up to the War Memorial. I didn't show you this for any other reason than to kind of explain who I am, why I am the way I am. It's not really about the camera, it's not really about the phone, it's really about the story that you have to tell. And hopefully I've shown you guys who aren't familiar with what our history is here a little bit of it. Anyway, I'm going to do two more things. I'll take a photo up the hill, down the hill, one up to the War Memorial and one down to Bullshit Castle, and I'll shoot them at 108 megapixels. It's nice and bright. It might hurt a little bit because it's too bright, but we'll see how we go. I'll put both of these photos on shanemoston.com. You can download them, have a look for yourself what a 108 megapixel photo will do out of this phone. And I've got a feeling it's not going to be as good as what I would like it to be. But as I said, it's not about the gear, it's not about the photo, it's about the story and the emotion that you want to play with. Anyway guys, that's it for today. I'll catch you later. See you.